What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central. And we got a last preseason game coming up which it looks like both Tony Bradley and Patrick Williams may be available. And, it's exciting to see the Bulls get back to as close to full power as we possibly can. I'm sure in this game, we're probably going to be, seeing the Bulls try to figure out who's going to get that last roster spot as well, which is also exciting. Kobe White we talked about that in yesterday's episode, so he's still a whiles away. But to have Patrick Williams and Tony Bradley, both two players who are going to be looked at to do a lot for us defensively. Patrick Williams, who I already said, probably going to be our best defender. I know people think Lonzo could be as well, but Patrick Williams I think is going to be more versatile, but we'll see with that one. And Tony Bradley, we know our big man rotation is a little bit thin there as far as with length and rim protection. And, Tony Bradley coming in and possibly being able to do both of those things is going to be exciting to see, even if it's just a little bit for this game. But that brings me to what I wanted to talk to you guys about. And it's not going to be a long episode today, but I wanted to talk about the X Factor. Who could potentially be the X Factor on this Bulls team as we head into the next season? We've seen a lot from players that we possibly didn't expect to see a lot. Javonte Green is one of the biggest ones. Like, we did not, at least me, I did not know what to expect from Javonte Green before, seeing him and what he's been able to do this preseason. Could he be the X Factor? Possibly, right? Possibly, especially when you look at coming off the bench. Alex Caruso is another one that's easy to be that X Factor. And, somebody who I expect to be an X Factor, but I know this isn't going to be the popular opinion, is Lonzo Ball. And the reason why I say that is because on nights where Lonzo can get hot, and if he's down for three, he can completely change the dynamic of the game and how these other players are guarded, as well as like what he can do defensively. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be the biggest X factor because he's a starter. We look at him and we look for him to do a lot on this team. But I really do think that Lonzo's versatility and what he's able to do defensively and what he's shown so far, I really do think like this is going to be the year where people took from Lonzo saying that he's a solid defender. He's really going to show some things defensively. I think especially when you look at the way the Bulls are probably going to play small sometimes. He's probably going to be playing and guarding people that's quote-unquote out of position to him. We saw him guard Larry Marketing in the first preseason game, not for like long stretches or anything, but we saw that. But when you look at like especially the ability to play the passing lanes, how that defense transitions to offense, Lonzo Ball is going to be a big part of that motor. And especially when the Bulls are getting out and running and playing fast. Now, in the half court, that may change some, of course, when the game has to slow down, and we'll see what happens if when the Bulls make the playoffs and everything. But I really do think Lonzo's versatility, both offensively and defensively, and I also think Lonzo still has a lot of development to do as well. Let me not say he has development to do, but he still has a lot of potential to grow his game in ways that maybe we or the NBA doesn't see for him right now. You putting him in a position that's hopefully better suited for his game. I know, in some of these preseason games, he's been regulated to being out there on the perimeter again. Not long stretches. I know, I think some people are reacting to seeing him do that a little bit more than what they should be because of what happened in New Orleans last year, but they have not shown any type of fear of putting the ball in Lonzo's hands and letting him make decisions. If anything, his teammates have said that it makes the game easier with the way that he makes decisions when he has the ball in his hand and he's dictating that offense. So because of that, I do think that Lonzo is going to just do so much for us this season. And, I was never a Lonzo hater, right? I never hated Lonzo Ball. I was a doubter in some ways. And even when, he was coming to the Bulls, I knew that he fit on paper really nice next to Levine and he was going to be really good for us. But seeing him out there on the court, Lonzo is going to do some things. And I already said in my my last preseason game preview for the Memphis Grizzlies, I'm just excited to see what he does on this team being up against Ja Morant. I know a lot of people in the comments of the last video were saying, well, he owned Ja in every game, but I'm specifically talking about with this team and how that transitions to offense for us and how it makes the game easier for the weapons that he has on this team. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. I do think that Lonzo can definitely be an X factor for us as well. But one player that, I don't want to, because I don't even know if his contract's been guaranteed or not yet, but I don't want to jump the gun on this. But X factor definitely, in a way, in a much lesser extent, could very well be Haize Johnson. And the reason why I say that is we've seen Haize play out of position. We've seen him play a lot of center so far. When he moves to that 4, haven't really seen him getting too many opportunities to shoot. Haize Johnson, I did not realize this, has played in the NBA like less than like 60 or 80 games or something like that. So it's not even a lot out there to just even say what Haize Johnson's. He's only scratched the potential of what he can possibly be. And like that heart, the heart is the biggest thing of why I think he can be an X factor, especially in certain games. Like I'm not saying every night in and night out, which that could very well be possible as well. But I mean specifically like in certain games where he has a matchup or he just gets going or gets on a roll or he's frustrating the other team, getting in the heads of other players, he can absolutely be an X factor. And then we're not even, I don't want to get too far ahead. We're not even at the start of the regular season yet, but if you watch basketball, you know how playoff series it builds up its own like games within games, right? And I don't know how you can't see. I'm not saying for sure it's going to happen, but a series in which Haize gets on a roll, or like I said, gets in a player's head, and it just every time he comes in the game and plays with that energy, he really, I want to shy away from saying takes over, but he really just is out there doing him. I don't know what it is about Haize Johnson. Like it's just something about him that just as a player, it really, really, I love the fact that he's on this team. And, I mentioned it a little bit before, Alex Caruso. We already know that Alex Caruso has the potential. I said in one of my videos that Alex Caruso very well has the potential to win a 6th Man of the Year award, especially if the Bulls win more than what they're expected to do and just the way that he's looked out there. We know Alex Caruso is an X factor. Hell, let's call him the fucking X factor. Alex Caruso, the bald mamba, has a lot of heart and he can do anything. And that's what makes, while there are absolutely holes on paper and we like to see this bench get fleshed out a little bit more, there are absolutely players that you just see on this and just look at as like coming off the bench, we're going to have a really, really good bench. And that's not even to mention like if Kobe White can get healthy and do what some of us expect him to do scoring wise. Maybe the X factor of this Bulls team is the Bulls bench as a whole. Maybe we get back to that. You remember when that was kind of the makeup of the team where a bench like sometimes came in and not only held on to leads, but extended leads? We have the potential to have that again. But let me know down below. It's just I wanted to drop this quick video. It was on my mind talking about what the potential X factors can be. And I know, we're very early on. We're not even in the regular season. This could be a conversation that continues to evolve. I may drop X Factor videos a couple more times over the course of the season. But let me know down below who you think has the potential to be the Bulls X Factor and why in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I know every YouTuber says it, but like 80% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed. What are you doing? Subscribe. But like I like to end every video on, go Bulls. I love you guys. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.